So this is going to be a full install, instructional, and review video, so I'm not even going to waste your time with a lot of talking. We're just going to jump right into it. So I've been wanting a dash cam for a really long time, but nowadays there are just so many different options that it becomes mind-boggling. But I think this system is the one that's going to be best suited for what it is that we do. This is the Wolfbox G900 Tripro. Now Wolfbox has a bunch of different configurations. There are some that are just regular dash cams. There are some with a in-cab camera so you can see your passengers. But what makes this one perfect for what we do is because it has 3 different cameras. You have your regular dash cam behind the rearview mirror just for regular dash cam purposes, but it also has a front bumper camera, so when you're hitting the trails, you'll be able to see the ground in front of you that you normally can't see because of your hood. But it also has a rear camera, so if you're towing a trailer, or in our case, we're getting a camper put on the Tacoma, and once that camper gets put on, trying to see through my stock rear view mirrors, past the cab window, and then past the camper window, that visibility is going to be limited. But having a camera back there is going to give me full view, and it's going to be a lot safer. Open the box, you have this little kind of manual, then you have the actual rear view camera itself. Really nice quality, really well built. And right in here you have a bracket, got your user manual, and then all the boxes in here are nice and labeled so you know what's in each box. This one has your extra bumper camera and it has a rear camera cable. This one has your GPS, the rear camera, a tool, and some cable clips. And then this one has your power supply cable, some rubber straps, and some accessories. They also sent me the hardwire kit, which is right here if you want to hardwire it to your vehicle. And then they sent me this extension kit for the rear camera, so if you have like a longer truck bed and you need that extra cable, that's it right here. Now what they didn't send me though was this. See, right now this comes with those rubber straps, and you just put this over your stock rear view mirror, take those rubber straps, strap it around. If you want like the easiest install, that's probably going to be the best way, but it kind of looks a little bit messy just throwing this right on top of your stock rear view mirror. If that's what you want to do, that's totally fine. But what I decided to get was this. This allows me to replace my stock rear view mirrors completely. You have this little plate here, and this attaches to this. You remove these rubber strap clips, put this on instead, and then you get a vehicle specific mount, and that goes right here, and now you replace your current rear view mirror with this. Now one other thing that Wolfbox didn't send me, because it's not even from Wolfbox, is this. This is the FitDVR power adapter. See, right now you can power this thing up in one of 2 ways. You can use the 12-volt socket that it comes with, plug it up to your 12-volt socket cigarette port thing, and then route that wire to this, but that's kind of a messy install. Or you can actually hardwire it using this kit here. This has an add a fuse, so you're going to look for a fuse in your vehicle that turns on when your vehicle turns on, basically an ACC fuse. Tap into that, route that wire up to this, and get power that way. Or we can try using this. What this does is it basically taps into the same power source that your current rear view mirror is drawing power from. If you have one of those rear view mirrors that has a digital compass or is auto dimming, it's electronic, it's drawing power, and usually it's drawing power from that little box that's next to your rear view mirror. There's a connector in there that you can tap into. So you're gonna have to get a vehicle specific one. In the Tacomas, it's a 12-pin connector. And this is basically a Y connector. It goes into that port, and then the other part of your vehicle goes into the other end, and then what comes out is this little box here. And from here, you can attach USB cables to your dash cam. It doesn't have to always be Wolfbox. It can be any other dash cam you might have. Or you can even tap your radar detector to this as well. So instead of you routing wires all the way down to a power source, you're gonna tap right into this. It's gonna be right next to your rear view mirror. It's gonna make that a little bit easier and cleaner. So I'm really hoping this works the way it's advertised. So that's what we're installing today. It's going to be a little bit of a longer install because we're not just plugging this up. We have to route some cameras. We're going to add some brackets. We're going to install this power adapter. But at the very end of it, it's going to look cleaner. It's going to feel like stock. And I think it's going to be worth the time that we put in. first thing is to assemble the arm on the unit. To do this, peel off the rubber pads on the back to access the screws, then remove the screws and the tabs will just come off. Now using the same screws, attach the plate. Don't over tighten because it's plastic. Now place the arm making sure it's in the proper orientation and secure it with the screws provided. Over on the vehicle, we'll install the FitDVR first. Pull down on the unit cover next to the rearview mirror to expose the wiring. On the left, unplug the 12-pin connector. To remove the rearview mirror, loosen the screw and then push up from the base and it should just come off. Don't worry about the tab that's attached, it's just there to hold the wire. Next, unplug the connector on the back of the rearview mirror. You can tuck this away as you won't need it anymore. Now connect the 12-pin connector to one of the cables of the FitDVR and plug the other cable into the socket where the old connector was. After testing that it was getting power when I turned the vehicle on, I neatly packed the wiring and put the cover back on. Here I'm just testing to make sure the FitDVR is powering the Wolfbox using the provided USB-C cable. Now it's time to open up the passenger A-pillar so I can run the GPS cable behind it. The vehicle has corner airbags and I want to make sure the cable doesn't interfere with it at all. I ran the GPS unit all the way down and stuck it to the corner of the dash as this is the most optimal place according to Wolfbox. Now before I start routing the cameras, I plugged it into the Wolfbox first to see if they're working. You might wonder why one camera is showing just a bluish green screen. That's because I haven't peeled off the packing tape over the camera lens on the unit yet. From here, I routed the cables behind the driver's side pillar, again making sure not to interfere with airbags, and then through the firewall. Now every vehicle is different, so I won't bore you on how I routed the camera cables, but I tried to follow factory lines as best I could until I got the cameras to the front and back of the vehicle. The great thing is that the camera connects to the ends of the cables, so you don't have to try and weave the cameras through tight spaces. For the rear camera, you'll notice that it has an extra red wire on the harness. You can connect this wire to your backup light so the Wolfbox shows the rear camera every time you put the vehicle in reverse. But since I'll be using my Wolfbox to show the rear camera primarily all the time anyway, I decided not to connect it. I just made sure there were no exposed wiring and taped it off. Now I tried to use a supplied bracket to mount the camera above my license plate, but the camera being mounted there prevented the tailgate from opening. So for now, I decided to just mount it next to my license plate. At some point, I'll be replacing this bumper with an aftermarket bumper, so I'll be moving the camera again anyway. Now I'm going to forward in time here when we installed the aftermarket front bumper and where I decided to mount the bumper camera. This is a great spot and will be protected by the bull bar when we hit the trails. And that pretty much completes the install. So the Wolfbox is really simple to operate. In fact, there's really not even any operation at all. It just immediately turns on as soon as you turn your vehicle on. And as soon as you turn your vehicle on, it does start recording. You'll see the little flashing red light right there. And then next to that, it'll tell you how many seconds it's been recording so far. It refreshes every minute. So every single minute, a new recording starts. And then below that, you have your compass. Right now, it's pointing north. And then below that, you have 0 miles per hour. It's able to tell you exactly the direction you're going and how fast you're going because of the GPS that we installed. Over here on the right, you have your time and also the date and the day of the week it is. Again, thanks to the GPS, it'll automatically update that for you every time. You'll see an icon for sound. I currently have it turned off because every time we turn it on, there's all these chimes and things like that. I just didn't want to hear it, especially with all the chimes in the vehicle already. Now, when you press the screen, this menu will pop up at the bottom. If you want to stop the recording, just press this little button right there. And then next to that, you have your brightness settings. And then next to that is how you switch cameras. So right now it's pointing to the rear. Press it one more time. Now you're seeing my garage, this is the camera that's on the front bumper. Press it one more time and then you'll see the camera that's behind this unit here. And then press it one more time and you'll see all three at once. Next to that, you have a camera icon. If you want to take a quick picture, just press that button and it'll automatically snap a photo. Next to that, you have your lock button. So in case you want to lock the screen so none of this stuff can get messed with, you can press that. Now next to the lock button, you have this play button here. If you press press that, that'll show you all of the recordings on each camera. Right now it's on front, but if you want to view all the recordings from the rear, just press that and there's all the recordings for that as well. And if you wanted to delete any particular files, you can go ahead and press the little trash button right there, or you can press this to group select all of these and then hit the trash button to delete those. Now there are going to be a lot of recordings, and it's going to take you a pretty long time to go through every single camera and delete every single recording from that particular camera. But you don't really have to do that, because every time the SD card gets full, it'll just delete some of the older files to make room for new recordings. However, if there is a particular file that you don't want to have deleted, then choose that particular file and then click the little lock button right there, and then that'll lock the file and save it in place, just in case that's a file you need to refer to later. Now next to that is a microphone. If you don't want this to record any audio in the vehicle, then you can press that to mute the mic. And then next to that is your settings. I'm not going to go through all the settings with you because there are tons of them, but there are particular things like, for example, if you mounted the camera upside down and you need to flip it or mirror it, then you have those options here. Also, one thing I do want to bring up as well is there is somewhere on here voice control. If you click on that, you can turn that on and off, and you can, the voice command is really cool because if you press on that, these gives you all the phrases that you can use, so you don't really have to even press this. So for example, right now I have the rear camera, but if I just say show me front camera, see, it automatically switches for me. Show me rear camera. I think that's just an awesome feature, so that it's basically hands-free. So I waited about a month before I decided to record this portion of the video because I needed that time to really mess around with the Wolfbox to see if it was something that I really liked. You guys know that on this channel I have reviewed a ton of stuff, and when I had the Jeep, anything that was thrown my way, I was installing it and testing it out, and there were some hits, but there were also many misses, things that I installed and just took right out because I just didn't like it. So with the Tacoma, I wanted to make sure that everything I did on this vehicle were things that I liked. I am done with experimenting. I wanted to make sure that I dialed this down to exactly how I want it, and you know what? The Wolfbox did not disappoint. I now have 3 points of views. I have a camera right behind my rearview mirror so I can record everything that's going on there. I have a camera on my front bumper, which is going to come in really handy when I start hitting the trails. And I now have a camera in the rear that basically makes my back window null and void. I mean, it was going to be null and void anyway as soon as this camper got put on. Plus, it's so easy to operate. It turns on when your vehicle gets turned on. Everything is touchscreen and easy to find. And with voice commands, you can basically just tell it which camera you want to see, and it'll display that for you. You don't even have to touch anything. Now there is one downside, and that is this. No camera, at least up until this point of history, has higher definition and dynamic range and depth of field than the human eye. And I say that to say, when you're using your eyes to look through a regular rearview mirror, you can basically see everything pretty far away, pretty clearly, because you have that dynamic range. Well, now you're using a camera with a little tiny sensor, and yes, you will be able to see that there are cars back there. You just might not be able to tell what kind of cars they are. So for those of you that like to look through your rearview mirror to see if the cop on the side of the road started to follow you, well, you'll see cars back there. You just may not know that it was the cop until it was much closer. Running from the law. But for safety, it doesn't really matter what make and vehicle are the vehicles behind you. You just need to know that there are vehicles behind you. And this camera does a really great job at that. You get a wide view, and it is high definition. Like I said, it's just not, it may not be as clear as what you'd be able to see with your human eye. My only suggestion, install it the way I did. I think it's just a lot cleaner, especially when you get the actual Wolfbox arm and replace the entire rearview mirror assembly altogether versus just using rubber straps and putting it over your old rear view mirror. And I get it. Some of you may want to remove it later, put it to a new vehicle. Well, what I did was I just kept my old mirror in case I need to revert back to it at some point. Also, to make install easier, I would suggest getting that FitDVR unit. It just makes everything so much simpler. There are ports up there. You could just plug right into it, and then you plug all of your devices to that, versus like routing a wire to a 12-volt socket and using a 12-volt socket. Now you have another socket that's plugged into that, or even hardwiring it to a fuse box and looking for a fuse there. That FitDVR thing just changes everything. It's just right up there. I can power my Wolfbox with it, and if I wanted a radar detector later, I can plug it into that as well. Running from the law. Oh, and one other thing, you don't really need that extension wire for the rear camera. That's only if you plan to install a camera on your trailer and you need that extra length. Otherwise, the length that they give you will suffice. And I have a 5-foot cab and I still had a lot of slack. So I could have a 6-foot cab and I would still be able to reach all the way to the back. I had to actually wind that thing a lot and just bunch it up because there was a lot of wire there. I didn't even need to use the extra wiring kit that they gave me. I absolutely love the Wolfbox. One of those things that I highly recommend, and now I see why so many people have praised it on YouTube and on Instagram. It's really worth its weight. And when we get our camper installed next week, it's not going to matter that that camper gives you low visibility because everything else is wired up to cameras anyway. So we're good. Get one. Trust me, one of the best dash cams you can get, especially for off-road rigs.
Does anybody even see me?